Greetings, MechWarriors. Welcome to a devlog, one of a few devlogs this week. Well, I should say, hopefully this week. We've having a bit of trouble getting these out, but we wanted to get these information to you guys as soon as possible. As you may notice, Darren's not here with me. Instead, I have Mark. Say hi, Mark.
Hello. I'm filling in for Darren today.
Yes, and it's actually really exciting that you are because we have some really cool stuff to show them. So, do you want to just fill them in on what we're going to look at, Mark?
Yeah, we're looking at the update to the quirks and skills in the Mech Lab that are going to be color coded, so you'll actually be able to figure out what each thing is in that list. We're going to be looking at the skill tree reconfigured, and we're going to be looking at the event queue.
My baby. My baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that why waste any time, right? Let's just jump right into it. So with that, I'm gonna click the scene change. Boom. There we are. So I guess there's one more preface that we should do, which is that everything is work in progress. We are in the process of getting these things finished and put in and tested. The other thing is that the screen itself is displaying in 720p. That's simply because I'm using it on remote desktop and playing through my computer at home. Let's take a look, Mark.
Yeah.
I just moused over the adder here, and this is what you see. Describe what we're seeing, Mark.
Yeah, we got all our quirks and in color. You can see all the base armors in blue, all the ballistic stuff's in purple, lasers are in yellow, the same way you would see them in a lot of the other color-coded stuff in the game. So if you go into the Mech Lab, all the lasers are in that yellow category. They're now yellow here. Show them the next part.
Missiles are
hit that
green
square
as well.
Hit that button I didn't know was here for several years.
The even cooler view.
I did spend several years not knowing that button even existed as a player, and then also as a developer for so long.
Expand and collapse full mech details. If you didn't know about it, then you learned it here first. Thanks, Mark.
And now they're actually organized into groups based on the categories of the skill tree system.
So bonus shows your chassis, C-bill, and XP bonus. This is a hero with a set of 8 quirk that gives it a 2.5% XP bonus. Firepower, survival, operations, and sensors. These lists will grow, and I think we're looking at, Mark, adding a few more color codes.
Yes, I think we are talking about that. So that'll probably be coming shortly. It's not in this build yet.
The idea being that if it's a certain color on the skill tree, it should be a certain color in the quirk display as well. We'll try and match it up with the Mech Lab as much as possible as well. So that's a preview of all of the quirk color coding as it stands right now. Let's take a look at the skill tree.
Well, you've already got some set up on this guy because we've been working with it for half the day.
Yes. So
okay,
I think we'll just continue on anyways. But this is your first look at the complete reconfiguration of the skill tree. What used to be a spider web has now become a very discrete set of paths for skilling up your mech.
Yes, and it does away with a lot of the needing to get a bunch of stuff to get one of the things you want at the end, or trying to pick and choose how to navigate through it.
And we collaborated with the Cauldron with this. They presented a really simplified design. But one of the key reasons we decided to keep this exact same number of nodes is that we didn't want to create a huge process of us refunding, doing some form of conversion on your XP and skills, then collapsing the skill trees, and you having to go back and reskill mechs of a new skill system. The goal of this system is to make it easier for new players to understand, for existing players to get the skills that they want and set up the mechs the way that they want, and as well to make it part of the mech customization loop. Now, if you want advanced zoom on a mech, you just go in and you get it.
So there's going to be no refund. This is just The new system will land, and all your existing mechs will still work the way they are. You don't have to rework any of your skills. It just happens.
Yes. So the one caveat to that may be that if you have unlocked range all the way up to 10, but you omitted, because of the path you took in the current skill tree, you didn't have range 4, 5, or 6, you would have to then buy those once you started adjusting your skill tree. But until that time that you go into the skill tree and start making changes, your mech will just work as is. There'll be no change in performance from your previous existing skill tree.
And this reduces the number of clicks as well, right?
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about this is, let's show on a purely locked one here, is that traditionally you would go in and click each one along the path. But now, if I wanted to max out hard break and I had the skill points for it, I just click on the last one. I've equipped all of them. I can apply the changes, 7 skill nodes, saving, done.
Excellent.
And the reverse works for unequipping. I can click on the top one, they're all unequipped, save, okay, done.
So we still have 91 nodes, but we end up with way less clicks if you know which sections you just want to level.
Yes. And I'm hoping that it creates a lot more experimentation, feedback into something you do in the mech lab, going, oh, I've done this in the mech lab now, I've changed my loadout, I totally want to go and make this really fast mech, so I want to focus on mobility. There are a few nodes that the Cauldron did want us to kind of put behind some other nodes. In particular, those nodes were consumable slots.
Yeah. Well, also some of those extra features in that tree only work if you actually buy certain consumable slots as well. So that makes sense.
Yeah. As well in the sensor range, ECM and radar. Obviously the ECM isn't on this mech, otherwise that would be equipable, but radar deprivation being a high value node put at the end of the sensor range tree. So if I click on this, I can access this one, this one, this one, this one, and I've maxed out that tree very easily. Seismic sensor is another one that's placed at the end of a target info gathering chain. And as well, under kinetic burst and speed tweak is at the end of these kinetic burst chains. But again, really easy to max out your tree.
And,
that's 5
and
clicks.
way less expense to still get it. It's now only a little bit.
Yeah, you can omit any of these torso list.
Yeah, 12 points to get all your speed tweak. And you're getting just kinetic burst, a thing you probably want anyway.
Yep. So yeah, that is the new skill tree. What I'm going to do is, when we put up this devlog, is I'm going to get a screenshot of each section. But I'm going to take a short break, Mark, and then when we come back, we can take a look at the event queue.
Yes.
Awesome.
Excited for that.
This is something I've been championing at the company for a long time, and it is event queue. And you'll notice up here at the top, Mark, look at this. Quick play, faction play, event queue. So this is your first look.
You've been championing this for like 3 years now, and it's exciting to finally see it.
It better be a success, or I'm going to get fired. No, I think it'll be good. I think everyone's going to love it. So this is the first look at the event queue window. First of all, the title of the event will go up here. So I've jokingly said things like Irby Derby in the past, or Steiner Scout Lance Mode. Whatever we've decided to name the event, it'll be up at the top. The time remaining will let you know how long you have to drop in that mode. This area will be restricted to the kind of the description. So it'll talk about what mode, what map, what modifiers we may have. And then over on the side here, we also have a list of mechs allowed. Going to be anything from all mechs allowed, faction like IS or clans, weight class, chassis type, so like Atlases, all the way down to the variant.
Okay, so we're going to be able to have a set mode. My understanding is we're only able to select one map and mode per event, so people will be able to know what map and what mode they're going into for the event, which means you can bring a mech that's designed for that and plan around that better. We'll be able to choose a selection of mechs or any mech, depending on what the event is. We're going to have some modifiers that will be able to play around with things. People might remember long ago when Paul and Tina were running some stuff and Paul was doing live edits to server settings and changing things on people, lowering the gravity, upping missile spread. Those are some of the things that we're not looking to make everything silly. We want to try and have something that feels fun, but we're still looking at what we could put as an initial set of modifiers for this system. So Matt, tell me about this drop deck.
Yeah, so
there's one mech here, but there's 4 slots.
Yeah, so if right now the mode is set to something that is a single mech drop, so like a traditional assault mode, but if we had a faction play mode where you required a drop deck, each one of these slots would be available. And now what's really interesting about this is it's not a drop deck from anywhere else. This is exclusive to the event queue, so it's just like a 1 to 4 mechs that you've selected to drop in the event queue in. And as well, when you click on this, you select your mechs for the event. This entire screen is filtered by what is allowed to go into the event queue. So you can apply these additional filters that will never show you a mech in this screen that you can't take into the event.
Okay. And for groups?
Oh, yes. So in the group menu, group type will switch from quick play to event queue. There. And then as well, access it through this button up here and select your mechs filtered by the event queue as well.
Cool. I'm so excited for this. It's gonna bring a lot of the ability to try interesting things and just stop some of the game from being stale. And at the same time, quick play will still be there.
Yeah, in the past weekend, Mark, I made the Foolish Things to Do in MWO event, and this queue will now become my Foolish Things to Do in the event queue, and I won't bug people if people don't like what's happening in the event queue. They can definitely stick to quick play, and those rule sets won't change. So, yeah.
I'm super excited for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, and we've left out a few details here and there that we're going to probably share in the future. Example, Mark, like we forgot to mention we're actually reducing the cost of acquiring skill points.
Yes.
Forgot to mention that in the group or the event queue, you're going to be able to have groups of specific sizes, the number of players from 1v1 all the way up to 12v12, and also say groups are allowed in event queue or no groups in event queue, or even further to that, you can say groups only in event queue. There's a lot more details that we'll be coming out with as we get closer to completion of this feature. We wanted to let you guys know what it is we're working on, what it is we were putting on the roadmap, and so you guys can look forward to it.
Cool. Can't wait. Excited for it.
And I think you're going to be joining us for another devlog tomorrow, Mark.
Yes.
Talk about
mechs.
Mechs. Awesome.
Keeping you rolling in mechs.
Yeah. Cool. So that's it for this devlog. I hope you guys enjoyed the preview. Give us your feedback in the forum threads. We'll be reading them, checking them out. We'll try and keep you guys up to date as we progress and when this feature is going to land. Right now it's looking like May. But until then, we'll just keep sharing the information. Until next time, MechWarrior. Bye from me. Bye from Mark.